This is number 7 in a series of talks I'm giving about the problems that are in America that I'm seeing based on 18 years of living, most of the last 18 years living in America, all over America in many different situations, towns, cities, interacting with people from all areas, races, levels of the economy, from good old boys in the South to black gangers, black gangbangers in the Tenderloin ghetto in San Francisco, through to multimillionaires in Aspen, you name it. And the things I'm sharing are the things that have become apparent to me as I've delved deeper and deeper into the culture, and that delving has included hundreds, if not thousands, of conversations. It's included thousands and thousands of hours watching television, documentaries, news shows, talk shows, chat shows, learning what the media culture, what the privileged, predominant white culture of America is, and figuring out what is and is not working about it. And as I said earlier in previous talks, it's pretty obvious to most Americans that there's a lot not working, that America's in real trouble at the moment, and I don't think that's the half of it. I was talking in the last section about the power and pernicious effect, and I'd even say the cancerous rusting of the culture through the predominant power and control of corporations that destroys not just freedom and democracy, but humanity. Because to be a good consumer in a consumer culture, then you have to diminish your humanity. You have to rely on buying things to feel good. You have to rely on buying things to feel your own value. You have to rely on buying things to impress others. You have to identify yourself in terms of what you own. And of course, you have to buy things to fill the emptiness that's left by having abandoned our humanity and our capacity to connect with and enjoy and fulfill ourselves with who we are and for who we are in this glorious mystery called life, none of which is taught or acknowledged or definitely encouraged as a discussion in America. The discussion is always about what you got, what you're getting, how you're getting it, who gave it to you, who you can get it from, what makes you important, etc. It's all consumer, money, and stuff based. The real damage then is that parents work harder to get more money, to buy more stuff, to prove that their kids, to the kids that they love them. The kids are left abandoned in their own homes and grow up with no clue about how to do relationships because they haven't had the experience of doing healthy relationships. My experience, and I've talked to hundreds and hundreds of students, college students, I've lectured in colleges in America, including UCLA and UC Boulder, and hundreds of college students that I've talked with have the most basic relationship with their parents. They said that as they grew up, their parents basically would criticize what they did and thought, didn't ask them what they thought, weren't interested, and could not have a decent conversation, and just basically set down the rules and policed them like cops. So that as the kids grew up and become more independent, lots of them go to college. They said the real reason they went to college, sure, get a degree, but the real reason was to get away from home. Lots of them then go on to just stop connecting with their parents, and I've lost count of how many adults I know who simply never talk with their parents. I was shocked. I was profoundly shocked. I've never heard such things in my life, and I've traveled the world for nearly 40 years. So when I'm talking about what I see in America, I'm not just talking about America, I'm also talking about it in terms of what I've seen, learnt, experienced, and lived in a whole range of other countries. So what we then get is relationships based on consumerism, which sounds ridiculous. But what it is that, and again, many men have told me this, that they grew up being taught that they had to get the best job they could to make the most money they could, to get the prettiest girl they could. Women have told me they were brought up to be as pretty and beautiful as they could be because that got them a richer husband. This, my friends, is called prostitution. Be pretty, get the John, make the money. be rich, buy the whore, have sex, pay her. So that an enormous amount of relationships are based on this. A final thought on this, and I no doubt cover more on it later, but I was in a car with two college girl friends of mine. We were going somewhere for an hour, and for the entire conversation, the two girls they talked about what they wanted out of relationships. And when we got to the destination, I told them that I was horrified because at no point in that 1 hour of talk did they ever talk about what they had to offer in a relationship or what they wanted to share or connect or grow. It was all gimme, 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 which then leads us into the narcissism of America.